Hi, I'd like to share my story with you at this point because I really think it would help you to understand why it is that I do what I do and why it is that I'm so passionate in helping you and your loved ones on your path as they face the challenges of aging. It all started when I was about 5 years old. I grew up in a multi-generational household because my grandmother had an accident where she ended up getting hurt and needed to live with family when she recovered. She ended up staying with us in our home up until the point where Mom and I had cared for her to the point of both levels of assisted living and then needing skilled nursing 24 hours a day. And Mom and I aren't nurses, and so it was in her best interest to go to a nursing facility where the qualified professionals could help her from that point forward. When I was about 18 and a half, I became a young mother and brought my beautiful daughter into the world and perpetuated our sandwich generation family of having 3 generations in the same house again. My parents graciously helped me raise my daughter, and eventually when she was about in high school, my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He was given a 2.5 to 3 year prognosis, of which he pretty much met just about exactly. And in that 2.5 to 3 years, the family went through a lot of learning and growing and changing and loving and finding out all the things you need to go through and do when someone you love, when you know their expiration date. Most of us don't have that gift or that ability, but in this case we did, and so it really changes how you act and how you do things along the way. So when Starcy was in her first year of college, my father passed right at the time of her finals, and that was a big milestone change in our lives. We had to learn how to grow and adjust from that. Mom did outlive my father by 5.5 years. She had one good year after he passed, and then she had a near fatal car accident, which required a lot of rehab and recovery, a lot of time in the hospital and the rehab places. I learned the ins and outs of that firsthand there, whereas with Dad, I learned the ins and outs of hospice and terminal illness. Mom had a couple good years, and then she had a few more years where she had a series of different incidences, everything from falling and broken her shoulder to having dental issues to you name it. It just kind of happened, and as is typical with these type of things, they get closer together the closer you get towards the final one. Her final one happened in November of 2014. We didn't have a heart issue even on the radar of the other issues we were facing, but she did end up going into the emergency room and having a heart procedure that they attempted to do that she didn't come out of. She ended up on life support, and my brother and my daughter and I were forced to face what advance directives mean and how to execute them and how you feel about them and how to know when it's the right time to do what. And so we had to make those choices and let my mom go, which was a really hard thing to do. And then we were forced with the recovery of what you go through after that. Every time you lose somebody, you get to appreciate exactly how much it was that they did in your life that you didn't know before. And you get to pick up the pieces and fill in and try and make that all happen, which can be more and more on your own plate. So what I want to do is help people find easier ways to make it through all of this, to give you a heads up on what you can expect in these different scenarios. And I know I haven't been through every possible scenario, but I think I've had plenty and more than my fair share probably. So I have a well-rounded perspective. And I also wanted to let you know that while I was going through all of these issues in caregiving and end-of-life decisions with both of my own parents, I was working in a continuing care retirement community, which is a place that active seniors go to live a happy, independent living life, but they have their bases covered for when they need assisted living or skilled nursing or dementia care down the road. And so I was actively helping other families make really good decisions to move to communities where their needs were met. So I was helping the seniors themselves who were capable of making that decision, and I was helping the adult children who were trying to help their parents make that decision. And it's not the right decision for everybody, but again, that's an individual private journey that I helped many, many families with. So that's where I come from and why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate about being able to help you and your family. I want to make your life easier and happier and less stressful. I want to save you money. I want to help you not have to reinvent the wheel and learn everything all on your own. I've lived it, I've done it, and I'm happy to share my experiences with you and make your path easier and enable you to make the most of the time that you do have with your loved ones. So I hope you'll join me and let me help you. All you have to do is ask, and I'm happy to help. I hope to talk to you soon.